everyone. Welcome to another Classic Movie Monday. I apologize I had to delay this video. Unfortunately, my sound was not cooperating with me yesterday, but I should be caught up by the end of today. So without further ado, let me address what I want to talk about for this particular Classic Movie Monday, and that has to do with the 1949 mystery film, The Third Man. Now, this one is highly praised among critics and audiences alike. It has gained a lot of popularity over the years, ever since its release, and it's definitely safe to say sort of why that is, in that it sort of helped kind of set the stage for sort of similar films that would come out within the 50s era. But basically, this particular mystery involves the bizarre death of the character Harry Lime in Vienna, Austria, after World War II. And an old friend of his named Holly Martins, who's really the main character of the story, ends up sort of arriving at the time of Harry Lime's death, and ultimately you'll see how Holly notices that there's things that don't really add up as far as the way in which Harry Lime ended up getting supposedly killed. And so he sort of goes about trying to figure out exactly what happened. And you'll sort of see what ultimately ends up happening in the characters he runs across, as he is sort of trying to solve the case here. What really works with this particular film is the fact that it definitely knows how to execute a plot as far as mystery films are concerned, and that it gives you something that you don't initially expect. And out of all of the sort of mystery type films that I've seen over the years, I haven't seen one executed in a similar way into which this film approaches it. It is rather interesting in how you end up ultimately discovering things that sort of end up connecting to one another as Holly sort of goes through trying to figure out exactly what the truth is. And at the end of the day, you're given a villain that you don't ultimately really, again, expect. So it really brings out some interesting ways into which how these sort of films are kind of orchestrated, and in doing so we get an overall interesting story. And despite it being obviously kind of slow, again, these older type films are designed to be not as, I would say, in your face as today's films are. They still offer something that is a little bit, I think, more based within substance of the story rather than based on, again, spectacle like we see in a lot of other films today. So it's definitely a nice breath of fresh air if you're looking for more of these older styles of film that rely more heavily on the kinds of stories that they tell than more so the scenery and the, I guess, visual artistry. And I think it really does work, and it is definitely safe to say that it is one that Orson Welles in particular, the actor, is known for. So I would definitely recommend it to those people who really do appreciate older styles of filmmaking. However, if you are not a fan of, again, black and white and films being a little bit more dialogue heavy, again, this is probably not up your alley. But I do understand why there is a lot of praise for this film, and I definitely understand its sort of significance as far as the time period is concerned, and sort of launching other films that sort of try to do interesting and similar things, and also do it in their own unique perspective. So I think it's definitely worthy of recommending, but I think that's really all I can say about it without really giving too much away. Unfortunately, since this film is definitely more plot centered than really character driven, it's obviously going to be difficult for me to really talk too much about it. But I would say if you're definitely open to these kinds of films, this is one that I think is definitely worth exploring. And it's interesting that it has this kind of uh, historical sort of added background to it in the fact that it takes place after World War II, um, when sort of the Allies still kind of had some occupation, at least within Vienna. But again, I think that's really ultimately all I can say, though. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.